morning, New Prague schools and New Prague community. Welcome to our second episode of Supt Talk. Today is Monday, November 24th, 2014, and happy upcoming Thanksgiving to all of you and your families. We're here today again with Mr. Dittberner, the New Prague Area School Superintendent, and our second episode of Supt Talk. Good morning, Mr. Dittberner.
Good morning.
It is very cold out, and there is even some snow on the ground. What does that bring for you as a superintendent? Can you remind our families and our children when it starts to snow a little bit or it gets cold, what does that do for you as a superintendent, and what decisions do you have to make sometimes on school?
Well, I would first say I'd probably lose a little sleep. No, we did have a close call a couple weeks ago. As everyone knows, the big snowstorm was supposed to hit us, but it went north of us. But no, we try to make a decision as early as possible. I work with our transportation directors and supervisors. They're usually out in the roads the night before, early in the morning. And, you know, we're going to err on the side of safety when it comes to any type of weather conditions, whether it's snow, ice, or just straight cold. But when we do make that decision, we use one of the first things we do is get it in the campus portal system. And however that's communicated, parents like through the email or the text messaging. We also go through social media right away too. So Twitter or Facebook, so if you're signed up for there. Actually, that's the most immediate way. If you want to get the first scoop, it's through Twitter or Facebook. We've got the campus portal system, and obviously the TV stations too. We have 3 different people out there communicating what that decision is, and whether it's a late start or, you know, closing of school. I will say this, as far as, and this happened last year with the old polar vortex, as it's called, it's pretty arbitrary on making a decision when it comes to cold. So if we have a forecast where it's, and I wrote an article on this last year on the website, if it's 40 below or colder predicted for that morning, it's in that wind chill area where it's dangerous with frostbite. You know, we're going to either delay school or not have school, so depending on the forecast. So it's a little easier. It's when it's snow or ice, it becomes a little more difficult. And what our transportation people do is they get out on the worst roads. And you got to remember, New Prague is 160 square miles. So having that many roads, and especially dirt roads or narrow roads, that type of things out in the country, goes into making our decision.
Mr. Dittberner, approximately how many buses do we send out every day onto the routes, and vans also that pick up kids?
Guessing right around 20. I think it's right around 23 or 24 buses right now that are going out. We have 2 routes, so we have the first route being the secondary and then the elementary being the second. So the same driver is going out twice. I'm not sure what the count is with cars and vans right now. But I'm guessing 8 to 10 vans are probably out on the routes every day.
All right, thank you.
You bet.
Welcome back to our second episode, and we are here today with Emily Jasperson, high school science teacher, and Erin Striefland, a 3rd grade teacher at Falcon Ridge. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you. Thank you.
And they are here today because they have been given the award, or nominated and selected for the TIES Exceptional Teacher of the Year Award. And before Mr. Dittberner gets going, I'll just have one of you maybe explain what TIES stands for.
Sure. TIES is Technology Integration Educational Services, so they really support improving and excelling at technology in your classroom and really using it as a way to improve teaching and learning.
Okay.
All right, well, let's just, when you've started in education, your career in education, why don't you talk about how technology has changed the way you teach, and just maybe talk about just a little bit about your background, each of you.
Well, in my 3rd grade classroom, when I started 8 years ago, we just implemented the Mimeo projectors, and the Mimeo machine is kind of like an interactive whiteboard. So I do that a lot when I'm instructing my class in a small mini lesson where the kids get to go up to the board and interact with the material on the board versus just writing and recording information down.
I'm kind of old, I've discovered now. I had to start thinking about it, and I've been teaching for 14 years. So when I first started teaching, I literally had the old school overhead projector. You turn it on, you write on it, the kids watch it, and then you had the VHS player and all of that. So things have really changed a lot. I've taught at a variety of districts, and I have to say the technology here in New Prague has by far exceeded any other district that I've been at. At the high school, we each have our own projector in our room. We had the cows. We wrote a digital textbook in the science curriculum, so we got iPads to use. And now that we've added the Chromebooks, I just feel like technology is at my fingertips every single day now, and I absolutely love it. And so do the kids. They think it's great.
I think people in the community, and whether parents or just community members, I think they want to know, this is great, all this technology stuff, but how does it help learning? How does it help improve learning? What are your thoughts there?
Well, I think ways that I've used it too has been to collaborate. Kids can collaborate with each other through blogging and different things like that. Just a creative way to collaborate together. What else?
I think it really motivates my kids. I think that as high schoolers, they don't have as many opportunities to get up and play and move and that kind of stuff in your classroom necessarily every day. So I feel like with the use of technology, they have that ability to get up, do something, and even if they're not moving around, it's something different where they can say, okay, this is what I would be doing at home. This is what they like. I can research, then I can report on it. The collaboration piece is really big. We use Google Docs a ton. Share this with your partner. Make a new project. Get involved, get engaged, and I think that's the biggest thing for my kids in high school.
Okay, now, Emily, you talked about, you've been in education 14 years, and you've seen, the changes that have taken place, and Aaron's with you with 8 years. You go back 8 years ago. It's just constant change. How do you stay current with all these changes?
I would have to say, I think that Sean Brandt does a great job of sending out information, especially on tip sessions, information, new items that we have available to us. So that's kind of a lot of where I start. I'll go in there and go, oh, hey, that sounds kind of neat. And then I start researching. There's also the opportunity to go to TIES conferences and go other places. But I really think that technology helps my students learn. So I just try to keep my eyes open. Okay, what are other people talking about? What are different blogs saying? What are other people suggesting?
Yes, and I think, too, at the elementary level, it's been great to have conversations with my colleagues that are teaching 4th grade or 5th grade or even 1st grade, 2nd grade, just to see where my 3rd graders, what they've been exposed to prior and where they're going for 4th and 5th grade. So just to collaborate with my colleagues, too.
I would like to ask, the TIES Award, is there professional development through TIES? Are one or both of you attending a conference? And if so, what will you do with that information when you come back? Will you share that with some of your people that you work with?
Yeah. The TIES conference, I'll be attending one full day, and they have lots of breakout sessions that will be throughout the day. Some of the courses that I'm planning to take are more iPad related, so I'm planning on, after going through the staff development piece of it and learning about it, implementing those ideas in my classroom, but then also as a tech coach for Falcon Ridge, I'll be implementing those ideas through the tip sessions that we'll provide for my colleagues.
I'm going through the conference as well. I'm going to go to ones that are focused especially on the one-to-one initiatives now that we have that. What else are people doing with Chromebooks and one-to-one? So I'll go to a lot of those. And we do also have iPads for the science department, and we kind of want to step up using some of those. We use them a ton in anatomy and physiology, and we use them in biology, but we want to find some other ways to incorporate them into some of our other classes. So my plan is to go there, get the information, and then come back and talk to my department about it, because if you really want it to be successful, you have to be able to share it and have other teachers using it. So that's our plan.
Yeah, and I should mention this, the public should know, we're on the first year of a 3-year implementation plan on a one-to-one initiative with Google Chromebooks and iPads. The Google Chromebooks being in the secondary, the elementary in 2 years from now will be one-to-one with iPads with the primary school, pre-K through 2, I believe. And then grades 3 through 4 will be with Google Chromebooks. So it's high school this year, middle school one-to-one, and then we go down to the elementary. Why don't you talk about the implementation, how it's going right now at the high school level?
With Chromebooks, I absolutely love them. The kids love them. They like to be on them. They have access to everything all of the time. I've used Moodle, our online classroom, basically a lot in the past. But I would have kids say, well, I didn't have access, or my little brother needed the computer, or there would be all these other things. Well, now it's your own, you've got it, it's easy access for them, they really like it. We can put our textbooks right on there, so kids like the fact that they don't have to haul home a 40-pound backpack. Some still do, but they like that they have access to it 24/7. I like that it's a lot easier to do formative assessments in my classroom. I can make a quick 3 to 5 point quiz on Moodle or on Kahoot, or there's a ton of different sites that we use, and kids can find out right away, are we getting it, are we not getting it? And then you can also do the game ones too, like Kahoot. You can make them, they're like 15 long, there's a leaderboard, they love it, and it's instant access, instant review, and it really shows them right away. But it's just been great. The kids like it, I like it. I can't say enough good things about it.
Good. It's great to hear.
I can speak as a parent, Mr. Dittberner. I have a freshman and a senior in high school, and the Chromebook comes home every day. I've never heard one negative piece to it. They're using it every night. They're still reading. They're still doing a lot of handwritten work, but it's just part of their learning now.
Yeah.
We did have Sean Brandt on here on the first episode last week to talk about the one-to-one initiative and technology. You two being here today really has just kind of shown that technology now is part of our learning and part of the schooling for the students and for our teachers. Professional development-wise, we're trying to do everything that we can to keep everybody up on the latest and the greatest things, but yet utilizing the technology as part of our classroom, not something instead of a book. So any other questions for?
No, I just want to also say there's a lot of things that were done with the infrastructure, and I just want to compliment, besides Sean Brandt for helping integrate it with the teachers, just the whole infrastructure part with Greg Pent and all the technicians in our schools. They've done a great job supporting our staff, supporting our teachers to be able to, whether it's implementing Google Chrome or just in the middle school and the elementaries, the different things they're doing there.
We'd like to thank Aaron and Emily and congratulate them again on being the Exceptional Ties Teachers of the Year Award. That's a wonderful thing, and they definitely are very deserving of it. You can go on the New Prague website, and Sean Brandt does have the powerful learning information on technology for parents, and there's a lot of very valuable information on there on the New Prague website. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
You bet.
Welcome back, everyone, to Supt Talk. I would like to thank Emily Jasperson and Aaron Strieflin for being with us here this morning. Now to my left, I'd like to introduce Mr. Tom Wetchka and Wyatt Skoke, one of our seniors and Dean of Students. They're here today to talk about We Day, something that you maybe saw the last couple of weeks in our Minnesota news. We had some kids attend from our schools. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thanks for having us.
Mr. Wetchka, I guess maybe we can just start off, if you would explain to the community what exactly is We Day.
Sure. We Day is, it's kind of hard to explain. It's a global day that is celebrated across the world. Mark Kielberger and Craig Kielberger, originally from Minnesota, actually started Free the Children back in 1995. And at the age of 12, by the way, and they were very active in their community and kind of had this great idea. And this has changed into really something very powerful across the country, across the globe. We Day Minnesota was celebrated last week at XL Energy Center. There were about 18,000 kids from around the state of Minnesota. I don't even know how many school districts were represented, but there were many from around the state, and they actually brought in schools from Wisconsin. One flew in from California. And really what it is, it's a celebration of youth and what youth can do to change the world, both globally and locally, is really what the emphasis is. Their theme was Me to We this year, meaning what can you do as an individual to change not only your community, but the world as well. And they have a variety of different activities, different corporate sponsorships, and really the We Day Minnesota that was held at the XL Center really was a combination concert, motivational speakers, a variety of different people from around the world that spoke about what the We Day movement has done in their part of the world, and within their communities, different schools were represented and talked about some of the different things that they've done. And it's a service learning piece is the whole model of the We Day.
All right, great. So how many people, or how many students from New Prague School District were there, and how were they selected?
Sure, we had great representation from the entire school district and really the entire community. From the high school, we had approximately 18 kids that went with us. They range from National Honor Society, Student Council, Proud Group, and then we have a new group this year called Silent Impact that we started. They were selected based on their involvement in those organizations. And really, the We Day, to earn a ticket to We Day, students have to do a variety of different service learning throughout the year. And we kind of kept track in our groups last year. And really, it's what do you do to pay it forward? And that's how we selected groups. From the ALC, we had the entire ALC there with Lisa Rudy Decker, and Jeff Reuter came along as well. And then from the middle school, I think we had approximately 12 students with Jeremy Culla's Student Council organization, and then St. Wenceslaus also came with us as well. We kind of combined on our transportation and things like that. So it really was a community event, and the kids had a great time.
Great. Well, Wyatt, let's get a little bit background on you. Why don't you talk about what activities are you involved right now at New Prague High School? So why don't you talk about that, and then maybe something, what would you take most from the We Day event?
Well, I'm currently on the New Prague hockey team. I play soccer at New Prague High School. I'm also on the board for Proud, another kind of anti-bully group within the school. I'm part of the Silent Impact board. And part of We Day that I kind of took out of it, that was the big thing, was that it was taking our generation, the selfie generation is what you older generation, sorry, have been referring to it as, and turning it into like a we generation, caring about others and bringing us all together to fix the bigger problems in the world, like hunger and peace, and just that solve small problems, but also on a large scale, we can all do it.
What are some service learning activities you've done here locally around the New Prague area?
Locally, well, I'm also part of a junior board outside of the school, and that we do fundraisers. We've helped out at the food shelter, handing out backpacks for incoming this year for school. We've also done a blanket drive we did through there. But otherwise, I've done mostly park cleanup and just kind of picking up my share, trying to help out others.
Wyatt, I know through the Proud Group, and you can explain this a little bit, I know the high school a few weeks ago did an anti-bullying. Even the middle school was very involved in it. They had kind of an anti-bullying concept for a week. Mm-hmm. Can you just explain maybe one or two things that you did do in the high school?
Mm-hmm. Well, the Proud Week, we had our Purple Day, where everyone dresses in purple, just kind of show the unity. Everyone's trying to get along and make a bigger difference. We also had the Mix It Up Day at lunch. I know that it was implemented throughout most of the schools. And that was just kind of to get away from your normal friend group and to meet new people and to reach out to other kids outside your group. And I know the past couple of years it hasn't made a huge impact, but this year kids were mixing it up and meeting new people. Right. Kids that you'll say hi in the hall to that you normally don't talk to. That was great.
So why, now if I'm right, you moved to New Prague, what, 3 or 4 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How's that transition been? What's your experience here with New Prague High School, the school climate and everything? And then talk about your plans for the future.
Well, I really enjoy New Prague. There's nothing much better I don't know, sorry, kind of stumbled on my words. But I know in St. Peter, there was groups and cliques and stuff like that. I know in the New Prague community, everyone's very welcoming, and they want you here, and they want to make a bigger difference, whether it's academics-wise, sports, or just friends. New Prague is all around one of the best schools, I think, in my opinion. Everyone's welcoming. They want you to get better. Teachers want you to excel in what you're doing. They're there to work with you after school and before school. It's very, very nice.
Is there any teacher that's had a big influence on you that...
I think it would have to be Mrs. Harmon, one of my English teachers. She's kind of helped me with my English classes. I'm not the strongest writer, but she's there before and after school during her hours that she has off during the day when she's supposed to be working on her own stuff. She lets me come in and go over my papers so I can revise them and better off myself for college papers.
Okay. How about plans for next year?
I plan on going to Stout over in Wisconsin. I think I'm going to major in graphic design. So working on my art skills, trying to improve there.
Good. Great to hear.
Well, one last question maybe for Mr. Wetschke here. I see that he brought a couple books, and maybe we could show the people, and if there ever was anybody who wanted to get more information on weeding, I'm going to assume that, do they come back every year to Minnesota?
They have done the last 2 years, and we're hopeful that they will be back next year. And from what we kind of heard on We Day, that they are planning to come back next year. They've had great success in the state of Minnesota. So We Day, there's a variety of things, and these books are available. Each person that went with has a copy. Magic Johnson was one of the main speakers last week, and a variety of other people. But again, it's a global and a local movement of youth that our kids hopefully will grab onto. We're in the process right now at the high school level and with the ALC in the middle school of kind of combining some projects for the remainder of this year on a global level, on a local level, pulling all of our groups together to kind of move things forward and really earn our time to provide this opportunity for our kids next fall.
Great.
Well, it sounds like a wonderful thing. I would like to thank both of you for being here today. And Wyatt, you're a wonderful ambassador for the New Prague area schools. You have a lot of great qualities, and very lucky that New Prague School has a young man like you, and best of luck in the future.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Wetschke, and thanks to Wyatt for being with us today. And we will see you. Welcome back, everyone. We'd really like to thank Mr. Wetschke, Mr. Tom Wetschke from the high school, and also Wyatt Skoke. What a wonderful young man, and our New Prague School should be very proud of him, and we wish him the best of luck in the future. Mr. Dittberner, as we wrap up episode 2 of Supt Talk, next week is Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family and to everyone within our school community. What are some of the things coming up academically, athletically, activities? Now that fall sports are over and fall activities are over, what's the winter look like?
Well, hopefully it'll be a good winter here, but I'd say we've got, you heard Wyatt talk. I mean, what a great kid, and he's in hockey. I'd encourage people in the community to get on our website and see all the activities going on and get out and see these kids in action, support them. We've got the musical this weekend and next weekend, State Fair, and I'm sure it's going to be a wonderful performance. We've got band and choir concerts coming up. We've got obviously a full slate of winter sports, so get on our website and take a look. And I know the kids would appreciate the support, and we're proud of everything they do. So the more the merrier as we enter this winter season. And like I said, we're very proud of these kids that we have. A kid like Wyatt says a lot about New Prague School.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for watching Supt Talk, our second episode. This will be aired again on the New Prague website and the Access channel. We will see you in 2 weeks. Thank you very much, and happy Thanksgiving.